on Casey Armstrong from Canopy Connect to talk a little bit about Canopy Connect and how it might fit into your business. Maybe we'll learn a little bit about how people are utilizing it. But I do know a lot of my friends that are in the country are using it. Ben Weinstein, a gentleman that I brought into the business many years ago, uses it all the time. He's a big motor runner. I need to see him on Facebook as the unofficial face to Canopy Connect. But I know a lot of folks in my market that utilize it. And I thought, let's put together a little presentation time so that way you guys can hear about it, see if it's a good fit for you, or you're ready to start utilizing it to better your processes. And so that's why I put this together. Hopefully you'll get something out of it, and then I'm sure that you guys can follow up with Casey in the future, or he might reach out to you guys to see if you need a little more one-on-one, or if you guys want to start interacting a little bit more about putting it in place for you guys. So that's why I invited him. So I'm going to pass this over to Casey, and he's going to share with us for the next few minutes about Canopy Connect. So with that, Casey, I'll pass it over to you.
Really appreciate you there, Joe. How's it going, everybody? Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to jump on this call. I'm going to leave out all the fluff. I'm going to make this quick, easy. Over what we got here. Reason why we're chatting is because of Ben. Ben's awesome. I actually was lucky enough to onboard Ben and to work with him. Couldn't make it to the call, unfortunately. I tried to bug him to come, but I got a nice little testimonial here that I'm sharing. Ben is amazing. I've been working with him since day one, since we started here with Canopy Connect. He loves it, but he'll tell you straight up, he doesn't need Canopy Connect to sell insurance. He never has. But what Canopy Connect does for him, it separates him from everybody else out there that's selling insurance. Because guess what? You're probably not the only person that's talking to them. And they get on the phone with you when you're using Canopy Connect, you're the person that has all the data. You're not asking a bunch of questions like, the guy down the street where he's selling on price, he's bombarding with questions, question after this, question after that. Comes back to him with a quote. I have to readjust it. It's actually different at the end. It's completely different. Totally different price than they were quoted because they're just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks. When you call up Ben, Ben knows everything about you. Ben knows if you're a good fit for him. He knows what claims you have with your current carrier. He knows exactly what you're paying with your current carrier. He knows all the cars you have, VIN numbers. But the biggest thing he knows, right when he gets on the call with you, he knows where those gaps are. He knows where the deficiencies are. He knows where he can actually help you without asking a bunch of questions. A lot of times he sends this out before he even gets on the phone with the consumer. So then he's able to walk into that first conversation where consumers clicked on the easy button. Now they're talking to Ben. Now they have the trusted professional going over gaps and deficiencies on their current policy they have no idea even existed. Now, I'm going to share with you how Canopy Connect works, how a consumer would use the product, the data that comes back from that. Let me share my screen here with you, and I'll show you exactly what the consumer does to get you all that data. Now here, this would be the link you sent out to the prospect. These links are very unique, so each teammate could have their own. They're very, very customizable. These hyperlinks, they could have your agency's name, teammate's name there. You have your teammate's headshot, teammate's logo, agencies, whatever we want to have here, totally customizable. Everyone's going to have their own. We can send these to the consumer via text, email, post on social media, and a lot of my country financial agents, they utilize that QR code that they bring for you too. They have those just as a simple sticker on a card, on maybe a sticker on their cell phone case. When they're out and about, they're at the grocery store, the baseball game, they meet somebody. Traditionally, they would just exchange phone numbers, play phone tag, hopefully capture the data they need. Now they just have the consumer scan that QR code when they're at Costco, they're at the gym, they meet somebody. Maybe they're at a baseball game, you're both wearing the same jersey. How are you going to walk away from that conversation with just exchanging phone numbers? That person's ready to sign with your agency right then and there. Why don't we make it easy? Let's give them the easy button. They simply scan the QR code, click on this, brings them right here. They click on the continue. We then can ask a simple question. Do you currently have insurance? We can digitally verify the coverage with your current carrier in seconds. Simply click the yes button. We then populate a ton of carriers that we support. We support 293 personal line carriers, and then we also support 213 commercial line carriers. So the prospect, they can scroll through all these carriers, or they can just type their carrier's name into the search bar. Maybe they have travelers here for their workers' comp bot in cybersecurity. They simply click on travelers. All they need is their username and password that they use with travelers for online bill pay or managing their policies online. Nothing new or foreign to the consumer. It's how they pay the bill. If they're using a password manager, it can link directly to their password manager. They select, hit submit here. We're able to capture everything that current carrier has. Not just their auto policy. Maybe they're a company giving you some crumbs, telling you they want to get an auto quote. Reality, they got 6 cars, 5 homes, life insurance policies, and then some. We're able to get anything that current carrier has. Or it's on the commercial side. Maybe they're coming just to shop their workers' comp, but they got a business owners and a cybersecurity. Why can't we help you out with that too? Here we can't get. We're gonna get everything they have. Going back 7 years of that carrier, full policies, claims, incidents, driver records, anything that carrier may have for your consumer. We're also able to go directly to the county assessor, capture your bill, square footage, estimate costs, mortgage information instantly, just from the consumer hitting submit here. Now, once they hit submit, they're actually done. Get everything the current carrier has, but very customizable. I customize mine to pre-fill information from the current carrier to double check. What if that phone number is incorrect and they scan the QR code at the baseball game? I want to make sure you're back in the office, you have the right phone number to reach them. They can easily update that here. They can double check dates of birth, driver's license numbers. We'll prompt for every driver associated. Make sure we have the correct ones for you. They can add a driver. Maybe somebody new in the household. We can even ask custom questions. How many miles a driver here? Maybe they don't know they need special policy for doing Uber Eats on the weekend. 2, how old the roof is, any pets we know about. The beauty of this is, consumer is done when they hit submit. If they were to exit out at this point, you'll still get everything here it has, plus any additional questions they'd answer, because every time I hit continue, I'm actually hitting the save button. We ask one final question. Do you have insurance with another carrier? If so, click here, brings you right back to the beginning to capture information from both carriers. Now, I want to pause real quick. If anybody has any questions about how the consumer uses, the Canopy Connect, feel free to drop them in the chat. Love to go over anything. Oh, looks like I've got one in there. 1 second here. Great question there, Jason. How do we make the customer feel okay about this? Maybe they're a little guarded. Maybe they had their identity stolen. How do we approach a consumer with a product like this? Our agents, they're completely transparent, just like you would be if they came to your office with deck pages. And if they had better coverage at a better rate, you'd tell them. You'd be like, hey, I can really do it for you. That's the kind of people you are. So with Canopy Connect, same thing. You just be completely transparent. As soon as you get on the call with them, they signal they want to get a quote. That's when you go into your pitch. Just tell them how they can get a quote with you. Let them pick. I got on a call with Joe and he said he was interested. I'd say, hey, Joe, I'd love to get this quote started for you. At my agency, we do things a little differently. I'm going to send you something we can call the easy button. It's going to take you about 30 seconds. It lets us digitally verify documents I would normally have to have you email over to me to prove prior coverage. Basically, it saves you about 40 minutes from having to dig this stuff up and read it off the numbers to me. Take about 30 seconds right now. We can digitally verify the coverage with you instantly, and I can get to work in the background. How's that sound? And by being completely transparent, we find consumers love it. It's basically just like how they're shopping before they got a hold of you. Simple as Amazon Prime. It's basically easy button for them to get what they're looking for. A trusted advisor to compare what they have currently to what they could have. We take a look at some questions, see if there's any others that popped up. Oh, for the commercial side. On the commercial side, we're going to get any losses they have, any claims they have. Now, with a lot of these standard carriers, we can get loss run summaries going back 7 years instantly in a PDF file. You'll also have not just deck pages, but full policies to back those up. Deck page could be a couple pages, full policy 100 pages. We'll get full policies going back 7 years to back up those PDF files, loss run summaries that we get for you too. Oh, somebody had a question about the texting. You can text still. Fortunately, the TCPA, all that stuff that was going on about, messaging people, we had to disconnect it just to protect our customers. We didn't want those not so good lawyers chasing after you guys either. You're just working with a consumer that said you can contact them. So we do have the ability to turn that back on. Just shoot me an email. I'll drop my contact info into the chat here. Just shoot me an email or message our support. We'll make sure we get that all sorted out for you. Really, really easy on our end. Just 1 second, just drop contact info to the chat here so you'll have it for later. I just dropped my contact info in the chat. Let me scroll back up. Start tackling any other questions. Bear with me for a second. Cool. And we'll help you add your picture too. Super easy. Well, sounds like we need to do our onboarding call with you. We actually offer a limited onboarding, so we don't charge for that. You can jump on that anytime you want. We've been releasing a lot of new updates, so I would suggest doing that. Shoot me an email and I'll send you the link for the onboarding too, so we can make sure we get you success. So again, no charge for that. We don't charge for setup. We don't charge for onboarding. We're a monthly product. Y'all are number one here. Got to make you successful, or it's not going to work out. I can't get any more cool bikes back here. So we got to make sure you guys are getting a good return on investment here. So we're 100% got your back there. And Kimberly asked, what if they have multiple carriers? So right at the end, we'll ask them if they have insurance from their carrier so they can submit with multiple carriers to capture all that information for you instantly. They would need a login for this to work there, Jason, but what if they've never had insurance? How can Canopy Connect help those folks? Maybe they don't have an email. They can't create an online account. Or maybe they did have some fraud happen and they're not willing to put in their username and password. No problem at all. At the beginning here, we can ask them a simple question. Do you currently have insurance? Maybe they fall into the other bucket here. If you do not have current insurance, or if you prefer to type in some basic info for an agent to reach out, click the no button. Here, we can collect anything you want. We have a custom form, easily customizable. We can have pop in some basic info here. And they can add the driver's manual, pop in driver's info. They can add as many drivers they need. We can then ask them what kind of insurance they're looking for. Maybe they're looking at getting a new homeowners, and they're looking at getting a car to go with that homeowners they've never had either. So it's the first time they're talking to an agent. Want to make sure the agent has what they need here. We can then have them add that vehicle by year, make, model, or by VIN number there. We still want to know how many miles they're driving. We capture the address on that new home they're looking at purchasing. Ask them all the roof is on that new home. Makes it very easy for the consumer there to work with you however they want to work. Oh, we had a great question about what if they don't have a online account, but they have insurance? How hard is it to create an account? So very, very easy. It's all automated for them. They just would select the carrier, whoever it may be, and then here click on create an account or forgot password, whichever they need help with. The product is nice and automated to walk the consumer through it for either business, personal lines, whatever they need. Carrier's going to do everything in their power. The only thing the consumer needs for this to work is a policy number. That's it. Carrier's going to do everything in their power to help the consumer. They come back here, hit submit. We're able to capture that information for you guys. Easy. "30 seconds does sound too good to be true. Now, if they don't have online account, it can take a little longer. I'll be completely honest with you. What we're hearing from our agents, consumer doesn't have an online account. I was talking to somebody in Florida the other day. We know it's a retirement community out there. We weren't sure how we were going to work out there. We're even going to be successful. We've been catching on fire. I had an agent tell me the other day, they were working with a prospect. She had Allstate. She was 81 years old, never set up her online account. They didn't even stay on the phone with her. They just texted her the link, got off the phone with her. Within 5 minutes, they had all of her documents from Allstate. That's how fast the product is. As soon as they hit submit, if they are with Allstate or any of the top 150 market share here on the personal line side, 5.6 seconds is their average full time for when that consumer submits to when you get that data. Oh, Jenny, you had a question where you said you were trying to send out the link. You were trying to send out a personal link and a commercial link to the same prospect. Our system does limit, if you were to email it from our system, you can only email one time a day to a person, but you actually can just send them one link, Jenny. You don't need to send them two links because we can actually have it so your link has personal and commercial, so you only have to send them one link. So they'd be able to submit personal or commercial with you with that one link. So Matt had a question. So Canopy Connect gets all the claims. You don't have to run an MPR. What's going on there? So let me show you, what we get claims wise. Let me share my screen here really quick. Oh, I should still share it. Let's go to the dashboard. So let's say, I myself submitted with Canopy Connect. You now get an email letting you know Casey's ready for review. What does that look like? You click on the email, it takes you to the Canopy Connect dashboard. Now let me pull myself up, and I'll show you what you can get from a real person. And unfortunately, I got some claims. You'll be able to see what that looks like when you come over something. So here you can see you get my name, email, phone number. You get my address, summaries of my policies, exactly what I'm paying here for the policy. Is it active? Coverage dates. Maybe it's pending cancellation, or worse yet, already canceled. You'll see that right here instantly. When we click on the policy, we'll have VIN numbers, coverages here. We even expose any gaps, things the consumer may just assume they have coverage for, but in reality, they may have declined it without really understanding ramifications from not having that coverage. And you're going to see what they're not covered for instantly. So you're able to review this stuff right then and there with them. Full breakdown of the vehicles here. We'll then have the renters. Again, exactly what they're paying, is active, coverage dates. When we click on the policy, the address, coverage to the address, and then a little extra. We're able to go directly to the county assessor and pull in anything that they have: property, building, and value, year bill, square footage, estimate costs, mortgagee information, construction type, even how many fireplaces the home has. We're able to do this for any residential property or any commercial property instantly for you. We can also do this with just an address. So if you have a current customer buying a new home, you type an address, capture all the county assessment information. Or maybe you have a business owner they should work with. Now they're looking at moving their business to New Plaza. Type in the address, get anything county assessor has for that new business location they're looking at. We'll have drivers, names, dates of birth, driver's license numbers, driving records, claims, incidents. Maybe Casey sounded great on the meeting here, but maybe he's not exactly who you want to insure, because you'll be able to see all of their claims and incidents right at the beginning. Maybe before you pick up the phone to call them, you're identifying they're not a good fit for you. Saving you 40 minutes on the phone with them. Save you the price in the MBR. Now, this will be anything the current carrier has. So it will be a crystal ball with what they currently have. Obviously, if they have a bunch of claims here, when you run the MBR, it's likely going to be worse. We do suggest run the MBR just in case the current carrier isn't up to date as Progressive years. Fortunately, Progressive is really on top of the ball. I got to watch this one come in. I got to watch it become at fault, and then I got to watch it become how much I could have just paid out of pocket. Unfortunately, I was working here at Canopy Connect when that happened, so I got to watch it all live here on the Canopy Connect dashboard. And then below here, we'll have the documents here in PDF file. We're able to get the documents going back 7 years. You have my welcome packet from 2021. And then my declaration page for my auto, right here at the top. You can see it's the actual documentation from the carrier. So if you're competing against the AAA, Farm Bureau, no worries. We'll get you those documents right at the beginning of those conversations to save you all that back and forth. They can't remember where that loan is, mortgage, no worries. The documents review. Well, my renter's policy, you can see it's the full policy. So if it was a homeowner's, same thing. You get everything the homeowners has to offer, from endorsements to exclusions. Maybe they don't have storm water coverage. Maybe no wind and hail protection. Allows you to come to these conversations completely different. Unlike your competition down the road, you know, they're throwing stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks. Here, you're able to give them a comprehensive comparison. They expose things they just had no idea about. Now the conversation turns from, hey, you interested in signing up, them saying, hey, when can you get me covered? Because I still have to drive home from work today. That's basically Canopy Connect in a nutshell. Love to go over any questions. Let me go back to the chat here. Feel free to fire them in. Oh, Andrea, thank you for saying that. Shout out. Appreciate you for using us for about 18 months there and loving it. Appreciate you. Ton. Oh, somebody had a question, you know, are we able to test this thing out? Like, can we kick the tires on it? Like, is there a commitment? What does that look like? We're now officially partnered with Country Financial. With that, for a nice little discount. Excited to share it with you guys. So we have a special Country Financial landing page. When we scroll down here, you can see we have quite a few different plans. It just kind of depends on what your agency needs, to be honest. Each plan will come with a 14-day free trial. We're running a promo. If you just use the product 5 times in the 14 days, it will double your free trial. You'll then have 28 days of unlimited usage on any one of the plans that you choose to test out. Now, if you love it, after the free trial, it's just monthly. You can cancel anytime. We're a product that prides yourself being something that's going to be a return on investment. And if it isn't, why should you be stuck paying for it? Why should you be stuck in a contract? Here, we feel you should only be with us if we're giving you a good return on investment. We're going to give you a free setup, free onboarding, because at the end of the day, we're nothing without you guys. You have to get you successful. That's just it. If anybody be interested in testing this out, I'd love to help you with that. I'd love to say go to the website, sign up. You can do that too, but at the same point, we need to make sure we get you successful. If anybody's interested in signing up for Canopy Connect, please reach out to me directly. My cell phone, my email are here. You can book time with me personally. One-on-one sessions are available. So we need to make sure we get you successful. That's pretty much what I got. Appreciate y'all jumping on here.
Hey,
a ton.
Don't jump off just quite yet, everybody. There was a couple people that were on here that said they are using it. I don't know if Andrea Romero is still on the call, but she said that she's used it. She really likes it. Andrea, if you're on the call, would you be able to unmute and maybe just talk a little bit about your experience? Or maybe Jenny Hackendorf, I saw that she said that she used it and likes it. I think that Heather Rojan had said that she got her first. So maybe there's some people on here that have used it. Maybe give a little bit of an endorsement to that.
Appreciate that, Joe. Would love to hear from any current customers. How they're liking it. That's amazing, Joe. Great idea, my man.
And I will share with you that I think that for the people that are in the chat there that are like wanting to kick the tires or is this really real or how it can be valuable, if you really do have those questions, I think that it would be worthwhile to set up an individual meeting with Casey or Jake and chat it through. There's people like Andrea Romero that was in the chat earlier that's already used the Canopy Connect, or Ben Weinstein was referenced. It would be worthwhile to, this stuff is incredibly valuable. And
some of our top producers use this. You shouldn't shy away. You shouldn't shy away from it. Maybe ask them, like a Ben Weinstein, hey, tell me about your Canopy Connect experience. So that way you can better inform yourself, because this is a really good tool for people growing and being efficient with their business. Heather Roche, are you still on this call, or Jenny Hegler? Just calling out to the link right now. You can unmute too. Okay. I think they might have left already.
Casey, Terry Williams here. Someone is asking in the chat if you could just scroll down on the screen that they have up right now, just so they can see a little more.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd love to go over the policy point. Just wasn't sure if Jenny was going to come up. You know, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
On her or anybody else.
Sorry, I figured out how to do it. It wasn't letting me.
Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I just started using it after an agency meeting, and it's awesome. I've had a few where they've had multiple properties, and you know, a lot of times they don't want to give you all their rentals. They just want to check out the first couple lines of business. And it was really nice because it provides everything. And I added in the questions. How old is the roof? Can't remember what other additional questions I put in there, but it's been really nice. And then I also did the commercial. That I haven't had as much luck with, because that seems to be maybe more of a challenge for them to log in or whatnot. But I still think it's a great option.
Amazing, Jenny. Thank you so much for coming up and letting everybody know, how it's working for you. If there's anybody else that you can't love to hear how it's been working for them, feel free to come off mute. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, well,
one additional thing I forgot to say too is real quick was what's nice is we are in a very competitive position in Colorado, and so it's nice to be able to see, okay, here's what coverage they currently have, and then you don't even have to compare with what they currently have. You already know that they don't have the limits that they need, and can sell the higher coverage, and then the price kind of just gets eliminated in that situation.
Exactly what Jenny's saying here. Ben says the same thing. Under financial is the cheapest. You're not selling on price. What you're selling on is somebody that knows the thing. A trusted advisor, something that's actually going to have their back when something arises, because they have the proper coverage at the beginning. And just like Jenny said, you start pointing out all these gaps, showing deficiencies, those small little margins, they don't mean anything at the end of the day. It comes down to they have somebody that you trust, and just a couple of dollar difference isn't going to make or break that. They're going to want something that they know is going to have their back at the end of the day.
Courtney Knox had asked a question that it appears that some people are just a little unsure of, and that's the question that she asked was, do we ask the client to provide their credentials to us? And the answer to that, Courtney, is no. You send them an email or a link, and then they click on that link, and then they choose who their provider is. They click on it, and they just enter it in themselves. So if Casey were prospecting me, or I was referred to him, he'd say, hey, I'm going to send you a link real quick. Just go through it and choose the company that you're with, put your provider information in there. It'll pull everything I'm going to need for you. And then I go in, I type that in, and voila, he has my homes, my cars, my life insurance policies, that kind of stuff that's in there. So really, it's just as easy. It's for the client. Most people don't even really know what they have, as most people in here are gonna know. The people have been here for a while, and so clients would much rather just, if they could easily find their documents, they don't have to go search through their house. They just type this in here and it pulls it for them. And like Casey had mentioned earlier, the way you explain it to them is that I'm gonna need to provide proof of prior carrier, so this is gonna take care of that. It's gonna give you everything I need to know about your coverages and whatnot. So we have a good picture of what you have, and then boom, they fill it out. and you have access to that. So it's really, really easy, really easy. And for those folks, I know that there's been a couple comments in here. It surprises me that they're focusing on the people that really don't know what their credentials are. I can share with you, I know how to log into mine, and I know how to log into my AT&T or my T-Mobile, you know. I don't think that every client you work with is illiterate. And so I gotta imagine most of the people that are using this are finding this. And Ben's been using it for years as an example. People know what their credentials to get in their insurance policy if they pay things that way and stuff. So let's give them a little more credit and not let that be a reason why we think that we might not be able to use this tool because everybody logs in their stuff. So
I'd be a liar if I don't hear that from every single agent I've ever spoken to. I've worked with about 4,000 agents as of this year. I've been on Canopy Connect for a little over 4 years. That's the objection I hear all the time. The facts are, last month we had a little over 200,000 people submit their information to agencies just like yourself. We see 75% that click on this link, get to the end and put in the correct username and password on the first try. Oh yeah, policy points. Gotta go over those. My bad. So here, if we go over, we'll go over the Elevate here, so it makes a little more sense. So you'd have 100 policy points on the Elevate. On the Elevate peak, you use it for personal and commercial. You can share it with other agents. You don't care. You know, however you want to divvy it up. You know, whatever. That's totally fine because this plan comes with 5 users. You can always add more for $15 a user. How the policy points work is one personalized submission is one policy point. So if they have everything with State Farm, auto, home, motorcycle, boat, RV, jet skis, that's just one personalized submission. It's all one carrier. Now if they have it broken up, maybe they have State Farm for their home, but then their autos are progressive. That'd be considered 2 personalized submissions. So it'd be 2 policy points. You can also use it for commercial lines. One commercial line submission is 5 policy points. So you're able to use the policy points for whatever you like. On the Elevator Peak, it comes with all the bells and whistles. The emergent property data from the county assessor, custom form builder, so you can build out custom questions for the consumer, or even custom experiences. It would also come with 7 years of document history, and then something that we didn't go over, but we include 10 ad hoc property searches. How that would work, that would be for somebody that did use Canopy Connect, maybe a new home purchase or a current customer moving their business to a new plaza. We go to Canopy Connect, click on Enrich Data, click on Property Data, simply type in an address, hit the little search button here, and we'll be able to pull in anything the county assessor has. I ran it on myself here, and I just popped in the address, it pulled in everything highlighted in blue, so you can use that for residential or commercial instantly there. And every plan comes with onboarding. We give you free setup, free onboarding. At the end of the day, we're a monthly product. We got to get you guys successful. So how the policy points work is they would reset at the beginning of every single billing cycle for you too.
Scott asked a question. I thought we answered it, but I'm not sure of his last name. Scott, you send him a link. You have access to a portal. You send a client a link. I access that link. Their stuff floods into the portal I have access to. So you'll have a login to your Canopy Connect, and you'll see it there. Am I correct, Casey?
And Jenny had a really good point. If they aren't willing to spend 5 minutes doing this, do we really want to spend an hour going through everything for them? If they can't give you a couple minutes, do we really want to give them an hour of our time? Are they really serious? If somebody had a question, what if you go over the 100 policy points? Great question. If you right here, just $3 additional policy point. So you don't get moved up to another plan or anything like that. And there is a discount for paying an annual. You will automatically get a 10% discount for your first year being a part of country. So these prices, these are the regular prices. So your first year, it'd actually be $9 a month or $225 a month, or like I think it's like $474 or something like that. But then if you go to annual, it gives you an additional 10%. So then you get another 10% off. So drop it down to even lower. But we just going with the monthly, test it out. Make sure it's a good temperature water for you. Make sure you like it. If you do, that's put your toes in. You know, we can switch you to annual anytime, maybe a couple months down the road, so you get that additional steam. Oh, yeah, let me fire this page over to you in the chat. And we're not co-op eligible just yet, but we're hoping sooner than later we'll be. And I'll also drop my contact info in the chat again, just in case anybody wants to reach out. Feel free. There's my my email, my phone number. You can call, shoot me a text, book some time. We're open book. Love to talk to you. Correct. You would get 5 users free on the Elevate, and then any user after the 5th would be $15. So the 6th user will be $15 a month. But we know things ebb and flow. So it's month, you know, maybe you have 7 this month, but next month you have 5. A couple went off to college, whatever it may be. We know things change. Maybe you got 8 now.
All right. Well, what I encourage everybody to do, if you have some additional questions, these are your resources that you can utilize. We just want to bring them to your table, let you know that it's not country, it's everybody out there. Farmers all stated they're all using this company. Many agents from them use their company. So this is just trying to introduce you to things that are being used in our industry to help you out. And so if you have questions, please reach out to Casey. Please reach out to Jake. I'll see if they can just send you an individual email after this meeting within the next week, just to say hi. And if you have some additional questions, set a one-on-one time with them and chat it up. And then don't forget, reach out to people like Andrea and Jenny and Ben. I'm actually forcing, I guess, people their way, but ask them how they're using it. I think we got some good endorsements on here. So really appreciate you guys' time. Thanks for investing about a half an hour into your business. And thanks, Casey, for your time. Appreciate it.
Appreciate everybody time, Joe. Thank you so much for putting this together. And anybody that's on the call, if you want to learn more, we're going to reach out to you. Pick up my my cohort animals call. Give able to book a one-on-one time for you. Go over any questions. Really appreciate all of you a ton. Thank you again for jumping on here. Again, we're open book. Good job. Love to chat. No pressure.
Awesome, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.